Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, put on notification and share this video to your friends. Today I'm going to be working with our hook, our seaming needle and our yarn, and I'm going to be showing you how to hide loose ends as you work. I'm going to be showing you how to turn for your double crochet projects, and this is just me making sure my knot is well placed on my hook. So let's get into the tutorial. So we're going to use this scrap yarn because I'm also going to show you how to change colors as you work. Then these are my scrap yarns from old projects, so that's what we're going to be using today. So I'm making chains of 20 with extra 3 chains to make 21 stitches altogether. So we're chaining 20 and that's 20, then the extra 3 chains, make sure your chain is straight. So 1, 2, 3, these 3 chains count as a stitch, so it's going to be standing in for a double crochet at the edge of the project. So now we're going into the 4th chain from hook with our double crochets, our normal double crochets. I have tutorials of how to make double crochets, you can check that in my page. So now we're making normal double crochets. If you already know how to make double crochets, just follow me all the way to the end of the row. But before we get to the end of the row, we're going to have a loose end that we're going to hide. That's the first one I'm going to show you today, how to make sure your loose end is invisible. So we're making double crochets just like that, and that is our first loose end on our yarn. So I'm going to be showing you how to make that invisible, like I've said. Then you go into your chain as you've been doing, because this is your first row. Then you make your normal double crochets. The loose end might make it seem as though it won't pass through the chain, but it will. So that is how you work with it. Then also make sure your loose end lays flat on your project. That way it will be easy to crochet along on it. It will be easy for you to hide the loose end into your project. So make sure it's laying flat. Make sure you hold on to it the way you hold on to your project too, just like that. Then you make your double crochet on it till the loose end is completely hidden. So just like that, you do it. You make your double crochet on it. Make sure you hide it into the stitch with the chain. We're almost at the end of the row, and we just have a little loose end left to hide in. So you keep doing, just repeat the same method you've been using. Make sure you crochet over the loose end and your current project, whether it's a chain, whether it's already a row of double crochet, anyone, just crochet along on it so that the loose end can hide into the project. So I've hidden that amount of loose end, so you make sure you stretch out your project like that, and you can see it is invisible, you can't see it anymore. Then you just keep making your double crochet till you get to the end of the row, just like that. Don't forget your last chain or your last stitch is always there, like I've always said. So that's your last chain. Yes, so now you chain 3. This is how you turn to make another row. you chain three, and you go into the next stitch. So that's that first stitch you are seeing. The chain three is already counting as a double crochet, so you don't need to put your double crochet there. You just go into the next stitch like this. And this project also this method makes your sides straight. So we just make our normal double crochets all the way down till we run out of this color of yarn. Then I'll show you how to introduce a new color of yarn. So now we've gotten to the part where our yarn is almost finished. Then because of the yarn I used, because it's scrap yarn, I have to split the ends open. But if you are using your normal 2 strands of yarn, you might not need to do that. So I've split the end open. Then I'm introducing my new color of yarn. So what you do is you tie 2 knots the normal way you tie knots. So you have tied the first knot, then I'm tying the second knot now, just like that. So you make sure it's tight enough so that it doesn't lose as you walk. Then we go in with our normal double crochet. So just like I've shown you in the first loose end that we hid the other time, so the same way, might feel like it's difficult for you to work with it, but just try and pull it through your stitches like that. So now we have our loose end. Then you place it flat on your work. You make sure you're working on top of your loose ends, so that it can stay hidden. Make sure it's laying flat on the project, just like that. You go into your next stitch with your double crochet, then you work on it. That way, when you're done with your work, you won't have too many loose ends to weave in. So this also makes it invisible for anyone to see, and it makes your projects neat. So you just keep working till you are done with the loose end. So that's the little part left of the loose end, and I've weaved that in. I've worked with it as I'm working. I've changed colors, as you can see. So don't worry about that look. When you're done with your projects, everything just disappears somehow. And this is what it looks like. Project looking neat, straight sides like that. And so that's it. I'm almost at the end of my row. I have 2 stitches left, so that's the last stitch, and I'm working into it. So now we're going to our 3rd row. I'm just showing you what it looks like presently. So you chain 3 as usual. Chain 3 stands as a double crochet. You turn your work, you go into the next stitch and do your normal double crochet all the way down till you get to the part where you have to change the colors of your yarn again. So I'm out of yarn again, and so far this is what our project looks like. Again, I'm going to split open my yarn because of the way I took my scrap yarn to work with. So if you are working with your normal 2 strands of yarn and you don't need to split open, there's no problem. So I've done that, and I'm going to introduce a new color by tying 2 knots you tie the first knot just like that, and then you tie another one to make it firm so that it doesn't lose as you walk. Again, I'm going to continue with my double crochet. Again, it might seem like it's difficult, but make sure you do your normal double crochet. Find a way to make it. Don't worry, it will relax eventually. Just pull it a bit and find a way to make your normal stitch. Then you walk. Make sure the loose end is laying flat on your present row, as I've said before. Then you walk your double crochets on it till you get to the end of the row. While doing that, you are also hiding your loose end. So I'm coming to the last 2 stitches of my row. That's second to the last, and I'm going to work on the last one. So for this now, my loose end is going to be left on the side of my project, but it's fine because I've been able to weave in as I'm working. I can just cut that when I'm done with the whole project. So you can see what it looks like. I've changed colors twice now. Now you chain 3 again, like we've been doing. Turn your work, and I'm not introducing any new color anymore. Make sure you work in the second stitch in your row, then you walk all the way down with your normal double crochets all the way to the end of the row. So that is what the project looks like. Now I'm going to show you how to yarn off. So when you want to yarn off, you always chain 1 and then you cut your yarn. I'll show you again. After doing your normal double crochets or whatever stitch, you chain 1 and then you cut off your yarn just like that. Then you pull through it. You pull through that chain 1 so that you can pull your loose end out, and that's it makes a knot, and that's just basically it. You've yarned off. Now you can cut the loose end that we left on the side. You can just cut it off. If you don't have any loose end on your sides, then you don't need to cut anything off on your sides. Then from here, I'm just going to show you how to weave in your tail and the beginning of your project, the tail at the beginning of your project and at the end of your project. So like I've shown you in a previous video, you use your seaming needle to do these ones, since you are not able to work with it while working your project normally. So this is another method of hiding loose ends. So I always like to place my needle into the project first. Then you make sure on the other side of the project is not too visible to see. That's your seaming needle itself before you even put your yarn. So that way, when you pull through it, you know that your yarn is not going to show too much, or it's not even going to show at all. It's going to be invisible. So that's the goal, to make your loose ends invisible as you can. So just like that. Then I'm going to do the other one. For extra protection, I will usually tie another knot after yarning off. It's totally depends on you. If you want, fine, but I always like to do that. Then of course you put in your seaming needle. Make sure you hide it. The less you see the needle, the better for your loose end. So just fix it in. Might be straight, might be slant. Just make sure whatever you do, your loose ends stay into the project without being visible. Then you just fix it in and pull through just like that. So there you have it. You cut the rest out, and this is our little project. You can just keep working. If you want to make a big blanket, you can just work it this way, depending on how big you want your project to be. Your sides will be straight, your work will be neat, your colors will be changed, and that's that for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and share. Thank you. Bye.